Welcome to Dark Echoes, the channel where nightmares come alive. Tonight, we have 5 horror stories that will haunt your dreams and leave you questioning reality. Make sure you're alone, the lights are off, and prepare yourself, because what you're about to hear will stay with you long after the video ends. Emily had always been curious about the old house at the end of Maple Street. Everyone in town said it was abandoned, but she didn't believe in ghosts. On a dare, she decided to spend a night inside. The first hour was quiet. The wooden floor creaked under her steps, and the air smelled of dust and decay. Then, she heard it, a whisper, barely audible. "Leave, now?" She froze, heart pounding. The whisper came again, this time closer. Shadows moved across the walls as if something unseen was following her. Her flashlight flickered, panic set in, and she ran towards the exit, only to find the door locked. No matter how hard she tried, it wouldn't budge. That's when she realized, the whispers weren't coming from anyone. They were coming from the walls themselves. Emily never made it out. The house stands empty to this day, but locals swear you can hear her screams if you listen closely after midnight. James was driving home after a long shift when he saw her, a girl standing on the side of the road, drenched in rain. She looked terrified. Without thinking, he pulled over and offered her a ride. She didn't speak, just got in silently. James tried to make conversation, but she ignored him. He glanced at her in the rearview mirror, and that's when he noticed something strange. She had no reflection. "Are you okay?" he asked nervously. She whispered, "I need to get home." James turned onto the road she had given him, but when he looked back again, the seat was empty. The door never opened. The girl had vanished completely. Terrified, he stopped at the nearest house and asked about her. The family looked confused. "That's our daughter, she died on this road 10 years ago." When the new owners moved into the old Victorian home, they didn't notice the attic at first. Months later, young Lily found a small porcelain doll hidden in a box. It was beautiful, but its eyes seemed alive. Every morning, the doll had moved slightly, sometimes closer to her bed. At night, whispers echoed in the room, "Play with me." One evening, Lily's parents heard her laughing in the attic. When they ran up, they found the doll in the center of a circle of chalk marks. Lily was staring at it, her eyes glassy, unblinking. She whispered, "She wants me to stay forever." The parents tried to remove the doll, but it always returned to the same spot. Years later, no one knows what happened to Lily, but the doll is still there, waiting for the next visitor. Mark was sleeping peacefully when his phone rang. The caller ID was blank. Hesitant, he answered, "I'm outside your window," a voice whispered. Mark froze. His apartment was on the 5th floor. He looked out and saw nothing. Thinking it was a prank, he hung up. But the calls didn't stop. Every night, at exactly 3 a.m., the same voice whispered the same phrase. One night, desperate, Mark recorded the call. When he played it back, the whisper said something new, "I'm inside now." He never slept again. Friends say the lights in his apartment flicker on their own, and sometimes, a shadow passes by the window, even though no one lives above him. An adventurous journalist, Sarah, traveled to a remote village no one seemed to talk about. Locals were evasive, and the streets were eerily silent. That night, she stayed at an old inn. At midnight, she heard chanting outside her window. Curious, she peeked outside, and saw villagers in black robes circling a fire, their faces hidden. She tried to take photos, but the camera failed. When she looked up, the villagers were gone. Sarah left the village at dawn, but something followed her home, strange scratches on her walls, whispers in the night, and shadows moving in corners. Locals warn, the village isn't really on any map. Once you visit, some part of you never leaves. Those were 5 horror stories that will haunt you tonight. If you enjoyed them, make sure to subscribe to Dark Echoes and click the bell to never miss a nightmare. Share this video with anyone brave enough, and remember, some stories are best left in the dark.